Hey everybody, welcome to the podcast for HowToRaiseAnAwesomeKid.com. I'm Justin and Eric's here. How are you, Eric?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing okay. I'm all right. I've been better.
Oh yeah?
I'm not that great.
Oh yeah, what's wrong?
No, I was thinking about it today. I'm having like situations where I'm trying to coordinate stuff with my friends and nobody's getting on the same page.
Uh-oh.
Well, I should say nobody's getting on my page. Nobody's willing to just do what I want them to do.
You're in kid purgatory.
All the time. Yeah, what's that?
You're in kid purgatory.
Yeah, that's probably true. Like almost all my friends don't have kids, so
There's very few non-kid having friends that are willing to deal with like a kid having friend, because most people don't want to hang out with somebody just to hear kids screaming.
yeah. Yeah, and some of my friends are still smokers, so it's like, well, I don't know. They have to like step out all the time to go have a cigarette or something. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I hung out with some friends on last Friday night. It was like the first time in 4 months that I've been able to hang out with that group of friends, and it was good. You know how it goes. It was like, oh, we should do this again sometime, and yeah, we'll see.
Don't call us.
We're trying to. A buddy of mine announced 10 months ago that his 30th birthday was going to be at Vegas. We should all go to Vegas, and we were like, yeah, and that gives us 10 months. We're totally going to be able to save up, and we have kind of saved up. We kind of have money, you know. In Vegas, like before you even start gambling, it's like a mandatory $800 in order to get out there.
Yeah.
You know, for a hotel and airfare and everything. And man, it's coming down to like about a month or 5 weeks until the trip, and it's like, man, I would really like to have $800, because that's like $800 before you start gambling. And if you went super cheap and just did maybe like $100 a day, we're talking like this is a weekend trip. We're talking like $1,000.
Yeah.
So I think that's where I am right now. It's like, buddy, I love you. You're a really great friend, but
Love $800 more.
$1,000 would be really nice to keep for myself.
Yeah.
So I don't know, trying to figure that out. But it's we're trying to all coordinate, and some people are kind of bowing out at the last minute. So it stinks because I did get the go ahead from the wife, like she is okay with me going.
Wow.
So I don't know.
Do what you got to do.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But yeah, that's the only thing. I think the last couple of days that's kind of been bringing me down. It's a little sad. Like, all right, guys, why can't anybody get together with me? And I had another buddy who was going to come over and just visit me for a weekend, and he's kind of dropping out. That was going to be not this weekend, but next weekend.
That's a downer.
So, but you're coming, man. You're going to come visit.
Yeah, is that why you wanted me to get plane tickets so I couldn't back out?
Yeah, exactly. The TSA is going to come track you down if you don't show up.
Yeah, they'll say you're getting on that plane, pal.
Yeah, but you know what's been cheering me up though is my kid's birthday's in 2 weeks.
Uh-huh.
Or actually, no, what's today? My kid's birthday's in a week.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's in 8 days. But it's his first birthday, and the presents have started to roll in from relatives. There's been we had an Amazon wish list because we realized at our wedding that if you kind of leave it open as far as what people should get you, they will get you the most goofy stuff. So
yeah, I usually try.
Yeah. So we got an Amazon wish list for the kid. He's not even 1 year old. He already has his own wish list, and it's of course it's all things that he wants, right? Mm-hmm. So those presents have started rolling in. I've started putting together. We had a splash table. You know what that is?
Okay, like a table
like a water table.
Water on?
Yeah.
All
So
right.
we got one of those. I put that together today, and then he got like a bouncy ball pit type of thing.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, it was. It's kind of goofy and it barely fits in the room, but whatever. He loves it. He's already jumping in it. He can't even walk, and he's kind of jumping around. So
Well, that's cool.
yeah.
See,
how about you, man?
We had
what do you?
We had advice for our kid's first birthday that nobody listened to. Just strongly suggested, hey, instead of giving a bunch of toys, why don't you put some money in his college fund? He'd appreciate that more.
Yeah.
And my whole theory is a kid that young, they can't play with toys. I mean, they're starting to be able to a little bit, but they grow out of those 1 year toys so quick. By the time they actually have a memory, the college thing is going to be more valuable than that. but nobody likes to donate to college funds. Everybody wants to get cute, awesome toys for their kids.
Yeah, I think the first kid especially, first kid, first birthday, it's kind of like, well, I don't know. You don't want to be like that uncle that gives you cash, that type of thing, So it's kind of, I don't know. I definitely see where you're coming from, but...
Yeah, it's okay. Nobody listens to it if you give that advice. So I guess it's terrible.
Yeah. So that's what's been going on. I mean, honestly, I'll be super honest. When this kid was, when we found out, actually, I think that the day that we went and saw the ultrasound.
Yeah.
Was the day that we stopped at the store on the way home and started buying toys.
Yep, that's how it goes.
So and I kind of wish. I mean, it was good. Whatever it was, I think it was therapeutic for us. It was kind of fun because I'm a big toy fan.
Yeah.
But and also we were doing it frugally. We went to like TJ Maxx. They have those little last year's choking hazard toys, that type of stuff. That aisle. So we went over and got all those types of toys, and all sorts of knockoff toys. So we got them kind of cheap and everything. And it was just. I wish I had known that we were going to get a zillion hand-me-down toys, because then I wouldn't have spent a penny on any of that.
Yeah,
and I would have just stuck it into a college fund.
Yeah, especially if it's the first grandbaby for the grandparents. It's toys time.
Yeah,
it's go time for toys. All those toys that your parents refused to get you when you were a kid, they are going to buy that baby.
Yeah, that's the way it seems to be working out. It's like I got jealous. My kid's got a His great grandmother got him a ride on Kawasaki, which he's terrified of. Yeah.
For good cause.
Yeah. When you press the button, it sounds it sounds like the blender and the vacuum cleaner, which are two things that he's already terrorized of.
Yeah. Or
terrified of. So he'll sit on it, and then the second you press that button, it's like scream and the shakes, and it's bad news. So. But I guess the way I'm looking at it is these are toys that he'll play with for maybe the next 2 years or so.
Sure.
And then if there's siblings, hopefully there'll be siblings. The siblings will also play with them. So,
does he have one of those toys that shoots the plastic balls into the air? Because those are awesome.
Yes. My son, I'll tell you, I'm not sure how to put this, and I think it's completely normal. He has his 1 year checkup coming up, and he's developed something over the last 2 months where he dances. And it's adorable. At first, he only danced to this one particular hip hop song.
Yeah.
Now he dances like the something about Shorty. I don't remember. It's kind of
real specific.
It's actually kind of obscure. It's by Yak Yan, the businessman. If you guys want to go look it up, it's called Good by Yak Yan, the businessman.
All right.
Anyway, so I think that's like a bit B-I-Z. I think there's a A-A-Z and A-A-Z. That's how you spell Biznaz. Biznaz.
Okay,
I think is
Biznaz.
All right, go look it up. But anyway, so I, that was the first song he danced to. That was adorable. And then now it's pretty much anything with a beat. And yeah, we have one of those toys that shoots the balls out, and it's like an elephant. Yeah. And you press the button, and it plays like circus music.
Yeah, that's the
and
stuff.
He's got like this bob that he does to it, And fortunately, he only does this to music, and I understand that because he can't really, he doesn't really walk yet. He doesn't really have any other way to show that he's dancing. But I'm a little bit concerned because he does look a little Rain Man-like when he's sitting there kind of bobbing to the music, so...
Well, it's cute when he's 1. Just make sure he's not doing it when he's 45.
Yeah. Like, definitely.
Unless he's really good at math.
Yeah.
That's valuable.
75 balls out of the elephant. 75 balls. So, I got that toy. That was all a gift. Like, I bought... those toys while he was still in the womb, and I haven't really bought anything for him since because he's been inundated with. I know I sound like I'm complaining, oh, my kid's got all these toys. This is terrible.
But they all do, and it becomes
kids
terrible.
Don't have anything to eat.
If you don't have a lot of square footage at home, you can't really keep up with all the toys that kids get.
Yeah. So
we've got.
I don't know. Have you heard about what is that company Toygaroo? They're it's like the Netflix for toys.
What?
Like you pay, I don't know, X amount per. This is totally not a plug. I just thought about this because I saw him on the Shark Tank a couple years ago.
Yeah.
You ever watch Shark Tank?
I love Shark Tank.
All right, so it's
You're
it's
fired.
like Netflix. no, wrong show. But you're close. So there's it's like Netflix for toys. You pay, I don't know, $15 or $20 a month. I think you can choose your level, and you get you go on there and say I want this toy, that toy, and this toy, and it's a used toy that's been like cleaned up and disinfected, and they send it to you, and you keep it for however long you want, 2 weeks or 2 months, and then when you're done with it, you send it back to them, and then they send you the next toy that's on your queue, just like Netflix.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and I thought that's probably not a bad idea. Now that you're a parent, I don't know. It's not so much that I don't want to get a used toy, but I know how my kid treats a toy.
Yeah,
so
pretty brutal.
I feel kind of bad sending a toy that he's just because he is at that age right now where his primary interaction with everything is through his mouth. It's right oral fixation. So.
Sure.
So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll do something like that just to kind of keep him cycling because he loves his toys. Like I'm a stay-at-home dad, and I'll be sitting right here like I am with you right now. I'm on the computer, and he'll be sitting behind me for hours on end, just banging 2 toys together, or sucking on a toy, or doing something like that.
Excellent. See, our 5-year-old has kind of graduated to the next stage of toy. He's got a lot of the Imaginext stuff. Those are kind of little kid versions of action figures.
Yeah.
Not quite as posable, but really pretty awesome. He's got loads of Batman stuff right now.
Oh, cool.
The only problem is he has about 18 Jokers. Every single set comes with the Joker, and who needs that many Jokers, really?
It's just causing problems.
It is. I mean, Gotham can barely handle one Joker. When there's so darn many of them, it's trouble. He's got this awesome aircraft carrier. We got that for him when we moved out here because we figured, hey, we're out in Virginia Beach, Norfolk. Aircraft carriers go around here all the time.
Yeah.
So check this out, kid. This is a toy like what you see in the water.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Does it float, or is it kind of like...
No, it's for the carpet sailing.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Carpet, gotcha.
But it shoots little plastic discs all over creation.
Yeah, see, that's the stuff I can get into. I remember, I guess he's kind of heading towards the age, or he's pretty much in the age for, like, Transformers, right? Do they even make, like, Transformers like when we were kids?
Sometimes. It's like it seems like they keep trying to revive.
The ones that were like, they were a toy, and they were an action figure, but they were also like a puzzle. And you could sit there for an hour trying to figure out how to, like, change it from the car into the robot.
Yeah, I suppose you could if you're not very...
Nowadays, like, they're just like big dumb anime looking like Optimus Primes that just look like I don't know. That's what I'm wondering. I'm gonna pick one up and see if they still like transform like they used to.
Yeah, that's the thing. They make some of the they keep trying to revive original series Transformers, but after they do that for a few months, usually a new movie comes out and they have all those garbage looking Michael Bay Transformers that are just terrible.
Yeah.
There was a few years ago this awesome Transformers the movie edition of Optimus Prime, like
the movie,
based off
like
the movie one.
The cartoon.
Yeah, looked a lot like him.
Wow,
it was awesome. It was like $60. My wife said that she would leave me if I bought him for myself. I almost did anyway.
I could see that. Yeah, I did buy one. I never had an Optimus Prime when I was a kid. This is a sob story. So I never had one. I never had any Transformers. I had GoBots. My mom thought they were the same. So
no.
Yeah. So I tried to recapture my childhood and tried to live through nostalgia. So I did when they did one of those relaunches a few years ago. I did go and buy one, and it's what. Yes, there's a moment when you take it out of the packaging and you transform it that first time. That yes, there is filled. It's sadness afterwards because I think that Optimus Prime was like $50.
Yeah,
and it was like I spent $50 on this.
So you got that
and
one?
Now it's
yeah. It's the one with the Matrix inside it. Is that what it's called?
No, it wasn't that one. No, it wasn't. This was like 10 years ago.
Oh, okay.
One of the many reboots they've been doing.
Yeah.
So yeah, but there's a moment, and I know I'm probably alone on this. I'm sure there's people out there that love their action figures. But after that first half hour, I was just like, oh God, what did I do? Now I have this thing like sitting here collecting dust. I'm never gonna ever play with it. That's for sure.
The fun thing that we always did was we tried to pick them up on the cheap. I had a bunch of roommates at one point, and one of them bought one of the Unicron figures. The big planet-eating monster from the animated movie. And his hands were fully articulated. So whenever you'd go into this guy's room, Unicron would be sitting there on the shelf, flipping you both birds. That was pretty
nice.
Cool. I approved of that.
When grown-ups get toys. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Was there anything else like from your childhood that you hope your kid plays with, or?
You know, it seems the toys don't go away. I mean, you go to Target now and you look around and you've got G.I. Joe, you've got Thundercats for some reason. You know, Transformers, Star Wars.
Yeah, why is that? Why do you think? Do you think that's just it's a cyclical thing, or?
I think
like all the cool toys from our childhood are still the cool toys.
Yeah, back in the 80s, they were selling toys to kids
My Little
that were
Pony
born.
is still.
Yep. Yeah, they were selling toys to kids that were born in the late 70s. And now, in this decade, they're still selling toys for kids born in the late 70s. You know, they're still selling toys to us. They're not really for the kids so much.
Yeah.
I think there's a Thundercats reboot that I think a lot of our generation forced our kids to see, which I never liked Thundercats. Screw Thundercats.
You know, Thundercats was if you put it if I'm 5 years old or 7 years old or how old I was, and there's an episode of G.I. Joe and then there's an episode of Transformers and you put Thundercats right between them, maybe even like and a Silverhawks. You remember Silverhawks? Wasn't it like
I never
the
watched
exact same
Silverhawks.
Deal? It was like the exact. It was like I think it was the exact same company as Thundercats, only it was in space. I think it was like even the same like animation company.
Yeah.
Probably the same toy company. But yeah, you could slap those right in between G.I. Joe and Transformers, and I'll just go ahead and sit there and watch it. You know, I'm on board. But yeah, I'm with you. I never would play with the toys or anything. But there was all that stuff. You remember all that stuff when we were kids? Like there was M.A.S.K. Do you remember M.A.S.K?
Oh yeah, M.A.S.K. was pretty cool. Had next door neighborhood all those toys. It's like their action figures were smaller, so they'd be like the dwarven guys that all my other action figures would kick around. It's like I had this guy with a yellow suit with like these big black goggles who drove the motorcycle that turned into a helicopter, and he also got drinks for all the G.I. Joe guys.
Nice. That's because he was smaller, I guess.
Yeah.
They'd be like, "Listen, buddy, go get us drinks."
You think?
Yeah.
You think Grunt from G.I. Joe's going to put up with anything from that little guy?
I had a handful of G.I. Joes. I had a lot of He-Man characters, and I think like that was probably pretty genius. The He-Man was the Castle Grayskull thing, which like that was when they decided that they could sell a dollhouse to boys if they made it like a big skull, basically.
Yeah, if they put murder
Kind of a big
holes in a
rock
dollhouse,
mountain.
boys will want to buy it.
Yeah, trap doors, exactly. So that was genius, man. They figured all that out. I don't know.
Yeah, I love.
I don't know what's going on now. Nowadays they do have like, they have all those cool stuff. They have like those Hot Wheels that you can attach to your wall.
Yeah.
God, I hope it's Hot Wheels and not the other one. I don't even know. Matchbox. It's one of the two. I don't know. But you attach like their whole racetracks to your wall, and they have that. And then what else do they have? There's all sorts of stuff that I didn't know about or I didn't have when I was growing up, like Floam. Or they have this water sand or magic sand. You know what this is?
No, what's that?
It's like sand. I don't even know how this is going to sound stupid. It's like sand, and you put it in the water, and it's sand, and it's wet and everything. Then as soon as you pull it out of the water, it's dry.
Oh, that sounds
like it doesn't.
weird.
Yeah, it like clumps together underwater and stuff, but then once you pull it out, it's like sand. It doesn't. Like, the water doesn't stick to it. It's very weird.
That sounds crazy.
Yeah, so they have all sorts of fun stuff like that nowadays. I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. I have to admit that I have already bought some stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like probably up through until he's 8 years old. Last year or this previous Christmas they had a Lego Star Wars Advent calendar.
Yeah. I think we have one for next year.
Yeah.
We buy them in advance on clearance.
Yeah. Well, see, I was worried they were going to sell out. I didn't realize there was going to be 250 billion of them, and everybody would be selling copies of them. After I was like, this has got to be like a once in a lifetime situation. I definitely have to buy this, just in case, on the off chance that my kid gets into Lego and Star Wars. Then
the off chance. You think there's a chance of him turning out otherwise?
You know what? I'm open to it. It's possible. So I don't know. It may not be up to me, He may just be like, I like football, and that's it, and everything's about football.
Yeah, kids will do what they're told, though, for a while. I mean, it's pretty easy to impress upon them what is awesome and what isn't.
So I bought that, and I think it says like a kid can't like even open them until they're 8, because all the small pieces are Maybe just because their brains can't handle Legos. I don't know. What does your kid play with Legos? Is it time yet?
He does have some Legos. He builds some stuff with them, and he hasn't choked on anything yet.
The Imaginext, it's like the same thing, right? It has little pieces,
not at all.
Right? Oh.
No, the Imaginext are like action figures and play sets. Legos are like those tiny little blocks.
But doesn't Imaginext, doesn't it come in pieces? You assemble?
No.
Oh.
I mean, there's like pieces to it sometimes, like it shoots darts and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's not the same.
Yeah, I guess I don't know what that is then at all. So I have to look forward to that.
You'll learn.
Yeah. So there's that, and then I got I said I put together the bounce house, or it's like a bounce ball pit.
Yeah.
And I got some balls. I think we're gonna have to go get. Like balls for a ball pit are super expensive.
Yeah, I've heard that. I think
they're like $35 for 100 of them.
that's a lot.
And you would need like, I don't know, maybe 1,000 to even start having fun.
Those are expensive balls.
Yeah. So we're gonna have to.
Poor people aren't allowed to play with balls.
No, they aren't. They really aren't. So we have to figure it out. I think the solution is maybe I'll get him like one more thing of balls, and that'll be my birthday present to him.
Get him packing peanuts. Same thing.
Peanuts. Just order a bunch of small things that are fragile, and then use the airbags that come in the boxes.
Tiny shot glasses.
So I would recommend that if you do get something like that, you don't go out on a $3 margarita night at the Mexican restaurant and then come home and try to inflate it.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to work out well for you.
Yeah, but I do kind of want to go to a $3 margarita night.
we kind of stumbled on it. There was this restaurant in the neighborhood that we'd never tried out before.
Yeah.
So we went to it, and it was like just chance. It happened to be $3 margarita night. So
what night was that? Like during the
Wednesdays.
week?
Wednesdays.
Dang.
Wednesday nights, margarita nights. So yeah, it was it's trouble, man. But yeah, the kid loves it. And he jumps around inside it.
Yeah.
So we got that, and we got that bike thing that you saw. I don't know if you saw the Ybike. It's like I don't know how to describe. It's like a bicycle with no pedals. The kid it's self-powered, but it's like built. It's built with the legs kind of out. I don't know how to describe it. Like the legs kind of jut out pretty far, so it's like ultra stable.
Yeah.
So the kid basically can walk. He like basically walks on it. He holds on to the handlebar and just kind of walks around the house.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is cool. It gives him a little more autonomy without having to drag his body through the dog hair.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, what else, man? What else? What other stuff did you play with as a kid?
Man, I was just big on action figures. I mean, lots of G.I. Joe. Occasionally some of the weird stuff like M.A.S.K, but Transformers. Had a lot of Ninja Turtles for quite a while.
Oh yeah, I didn't really have any of that stuff. Did you hate the kid who had like the Ninja Turtles blimp?
No, I wasn't.
Were you that kid?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Although the blimp didn't get much play, the party van did because it was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
When they finally put out the Technodrome, I about crapped my pants. I mean, that was just the coolest thing ever.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Until I sunk it in the creek behind my house.
At least he didn't say crick.
Crick.
All right, man. So I played with Legos when I was a kid. That's it. I'm trying to figure out what the heck I did with my childhood, and maybe that's what this whole thing is about. Is I'm trying to figure out now how I spent my childhood because I don't remember doing anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely remember doing stuff outside with. Yeah, I mean, you do all the stuff that you do outside with neighborhood kids, but I can't remember what I did with like my alone time. I guess. Yeah. And I know I played a lot of Legos. I had like a big, not a big box. It was like a box the size of a laptop that was like 5 inches tall.
Yeah.
That was just filled with Lego blocks.
Cool.
And they weren't even like a set. They didn't. You remember when they started with like that Lego Pirates stuff, and then now it's like Star Wars and there's all sorts of.
Yeah, the company was really resistant to doing sets for a long time.
Yeah, and I read about that. I heard that like they're okay with it because kids are using their imagination still. But I don't know. I prefer I had all the little goofy pieces that didn't go to anything. They were all just basically squares and rectangles, and you would just build something based on that.
Well, that's cool. I would just do like epic room-sized battles between the forces of good and evil.
Yeah, that's mostly I would just make like spaceships, different spaceships, and then just fly them around the house.
I would do
an
morbid
airplane.
things. I would take a lot of the bizarre and morbid imagery from the various forms of entertainment around. Like, definitely learn something from Return of the Jedi. Almost all my action figures spend at least some time in a glass of carbonite in the freezer.
Nice.
And
Your
then-
parents help you put that together, put them in an ice cube tray.
No ice cube tray. Put them in a plastic cup, fill it with water, stick them in there.
Nice.
24 hours later, Cobra Commander is good and frozen. Especially around Easter, I guess it wasn't uncommon for my action figures to be crucified on Pop-Tarts boxes.
Wow.
I guess that's the lesson I got from church. There is, people can do really cruel things to each other, and that's a pretty cruel thing to do.
Wow.
When we got a house that had a balcony, like a railing on the second floor, lots of people were hung. See also ceiling fans.
Ooh, yeah.
Cobra Commander, again, he got a lot of punishment because he was the bad guy.
Yeah.
He got his codpiece broken off in a ceiling fan accident, so that's no good
So
for
what's underneath there?
him. Just like a little metal bar. Kind of an upside down T of metal holds. It's like I'm well familiar with dissecting G.I. Joes here. There's a rubber band that goes up to their torso, down to their waist. Yeah.
Down, and sort of the legs and stuff, right? Or
Yeah.
no, the legs just pop out, right?
No, the legs are connected to that little upside down T on the sides.
Okay, yeah, I remember that.
So, Cobra Commander.
I remember, that moment when you're playing with the kids, like one of your friends' G.I. Joes, and you pull something out of socket, and it's like, oh crap, I got to figure out how to put this thing back together before he notices. I did that a ton of times. I did that all the time.
Some figures were better for that than others. He-Man, they could always lose their arms.
Yeah.
There was one show, I think Marshall Bravestar. Does that ring a bell with you?
It doesn't, no.
I think it was one of those shows where you could have like a gun that you shoot at the TV. It wasn't Captain Power, but it was.
Oh yeah.
It was a similar deal, and he was like a giant action figure, like 10 inches tall, towered over the other ones.
Man, how starved were we for? I was gonna say, how starved were we for video games back then when they were they were trying to figure out ways for us to shoot guns at our TV shows.
I had all 3 difficulty levels of Captain Power.
Nice.
VHS tape.
Nice.
Yeah.
There was a quote I saw online which was like, somebody was saying that basically everything that they know and love from their childhood was created to sell them action figures.
Yeah.
And I think that's like the sad realization when you realize that's basically what it comes down to. Like there really isn't anything that we're nostalgic about from our childhood that wasn't created.
Yeah, but my action figures were pretty awesome.
That's true. That's very true.
I'll stand with that.
So I guess one of these days we'll talk about girl toys. I don't know. Hopefully one of us.
Whatever. Dolls and crap.
We'll have to figure it out. Yeah, I don't know how that works. Man.
I don't think either of us are qualified to talk about girl toys.
Yeah, I mean, I have a niece, and I did. We did that magic sand. That's kind of a girl toy,
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. She's 5 now, so she's kind of transitioning into that period where she's, actually playing with girly stuff.
I think talking to my wife right around 12 or so, she started wanting to get clothes for Christmas and for holidays like that.
Oh man,
I really could not understand that. I don't think I turned that corner until I was 30.
I still haven't turned that corner. I'll still be very upset if I open up a present. There's actually, if I lift up the present and it's kind of saggy like that, I know there's clothing inside. I'll start to get sag. Yeah, my wife. It's the same thing. She was like, "Oh, I loved getting clothes for Christmas," and I was like, "What? Clothes?"
Who likes that?
And probably some books. Only because I would get books from the Barnes and Noble dollar aisle. Mm-hmm. They were kind of, not exactly what I was looking for, but yeah. I think I wrote that in an article on the site. Clothes and books, maybe you save those for non-birthday and Christmas.
Yeah.
Just so that way your kid's excited about it. I don't know. That's
but
my advice.
It's different rules for girls. It's a different world out there.
Yeah. Well, one of these days maybe I'll figure it out or find out about it. All right, man. Well, that's all I had to talk about. I'm glad we were able to talk about toys.
Me too.
Well, probably the first of many.
I love toys.
We might talk about more toys some other time. But that's all I had. Did you have anything else you wanted to add?
No, I'm good.
All right. So the website's howtoraiseanawesomekid.com. The podcast phone number is 347-676-0830. You can call us and just leave a voicemail. Podcast updates every Wednesday most of the time, and we are also now on iTunes. So check us out there.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this, no matter how you listen to us, we'll be announcing a bunch of different ways on the website that you can now listen to the podcast. But no matter which way you choose, if it's through iTunes or one of those other sites like that, just do us a favor and rate it. It can be however you want to rate it, but just go ahead and rate it so that way other people can kind of figure out whether or not it's something they want to listen to.
When we get more listeners, we'd rather have good ratings, but for now, just rate it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right, man. Eric, thanks for talking to me.
No problem.